Procreate 5.2 beta version is out, and I can say that the guys behind the Procreate app made a great job again. I have been testing it for some time now, and in this video we will talk about what's new in Procreate version 5.2. Before we get started, the new version isn't available on the App Store yet. I'd applied for the beta version and was granted early access to try it out. If you are subscribed to my channel, I'll let you know as soon as it comes to the App Store for everyone. Now let's see what's new. So one of the big features of the new version is that you can now open and paint on 3D files and export them in different ways. Besides coloring, you can also position lights and change the environment in the lighting studio. To check the 3D features, I'll open one of these 3D models. Let's go with this helmet. And it'll appear on the screen as soon as we open the project. We can move it around the canvas and rotate. If we have a look at the layers, we will see that this complicated shape is divided into a number of simple shapes. They look like groups. I'll go to Visor to check what's new in the layers. Here we can still switch the layer's visibility, change its blending mode and opacity. Just same as before. But there is also this icon with 3D cube. Let's tap on it, and we will get these three sections. The first one is color. That is obviously used to apply a color. First we can try to drag it on the visor, and it will be filled completely. Let's also try to use a brush on it. I will select Avalon from Materials and paint on the visor while rotating the helmet. The next section here is Roughness. Here we can switch between white and black colors to get a different effect. I will start with white. And once we paint on the visor, we will just get a matte color without any shine. Now let's go to Metallic and apply white color as well. It looks super cool with all these reflections. But if we switch to black color and try to apply it, we will get a completely opposite effect. We can also go back to the layer and try to create another one above it. I'll set it to Overlay and for example pick white color. I'd like to add a texture. That will be black wood from the same set. When we paint on the visor, even though the layer is not clipped, the stroke still won't go outside, because actually all these layers work as clipping masks. Let's go further and check what's new in this menu on the left. Now let's open the first tab with Actions, and here in the Add section, we can see all the same functions as before, including the opportunity to insert a private file or photo. The only thing is missing is the way to add a text. Let's try to import a file. And once it is imported, the transformation menu will pop up. It looks slightly different from the previous one. You can still flip or rotate the image, but there is also a new thing called projection, in which you can adjust the projection depth and also make it bidirectional. This way the same image will appear on the opposite side. We just can't see it because it is hidden under this line. In Advanced Settings, we can adjust the location in 3D by rotating it and also sliding these cubes. For some people it may be not too convenient, but there is another way. So let's go to 3D section and show 2D texture. Now if we go to transformation, it will look as before. So we can scale these objects and place them. I wanted to cover the entire helmet. Now let's try to switch back. And we will get texture like this. In the same tab there are a few more features. A cool one of them is added lighting and environment. Here we can adjust the light sources by moving them, changing their color, saturation, and intensity. We can also delete or duplicate them and place in different sides. Let's go to Environment and here we can either show or hide environment. Also adjust its exposure and apply one of the presets. Let me delete this one, and I will keep this blue. This is what we will get. One of the cool features is that you can view your 3D art even in AR mode by clicking View in AR. It will open your iPad's camera and allow you to view your object in real time. You can move it to the sides, rotate it, and even change its size. Let's try to share this object. I want to use animated MP4. It is a very cool way to present your model. And here we can switch the size and the quality. Also switch from rotation to swing and adjust the animation duration. The bigger it is, the slower it moves. We can also zoom distance, so it has a bigger amplitude, and lower ease. There is also a way to show or hide environment. Another way to save a 3D image is to share it as OBJ or USDZ file. Let me export it and then save to files. After that we can view it. As soon as we open Procreate and go to create a new canvas, we can see a couple of formats that we couldn't in the previous version. These are Face Paint, which opens the face reference option on a square canvas, and Comic, which has CMYK color profile. And if we go to check the canvas information, in dimensions it has 400 dpi, which is high, so the number of layers available at my end is 69. I guess this will be enough for a comic. iPad Pros with 6 GB of RAM or more can now take advantage of the extra memory and create even more layers and even bigger resolutions. You can create canvases up to 16K by 8K and make hundreds of more layers for animation. Let me create a canvas with a screen size, so we can try out some new features. Here we have all same options as before, but if we go to palettes, we'll see 3 pre-installed color palettes which can be viewed as compact or cards. Every color has its name which can be edited using keyboard. So when you create a color palette and add colors to it, it will show the name of the color. This is a great accessibility feature for many artists who have color blindness and draw in grayscale colors because they aren't confident with colors. In the brush library there is a new section, which keeps most recent brushes you used. It'll show 8 of them in the list, and if you swipe, you can find the brush in the brush set, pin it, or clear. This way the brush will be deleted only from the recent section, but stay in the original brush set. As for the new brushes, I can see 2 brush sets here. One of them is materials for 3D objects. We can see this 3D sign here. And when used on a 2D drawing, these textures may look differently. Another set here at the bottom is called Earth. It has some nice textures. Let's open one of the brushes to see what's new in the settings. In stroke path we can't see the streamline. Now it moved to another section below. It's stabilization. And in addition to the former streamline setting, we can see a few more. The streamline itself has a mount and pressure control. The amount of stabilization can make the line look completely different. Same as motion filtering. These features can be helpful for people with moving difficulties. In addition to that, in the Prefs section from Actions, there is a new option for pressure and smoothing. That'll help adjust some extra settings for pressure sensitivity. You can move the sliders or adjust the pressure sensitivity curve. And you can do it not only for a single brush, but for all brushes at once. In the Help panel in Advanced Settings, in addition to all these Procreate features, you can see Accessibility panel, in which you can enable Single Touch Gesture Companion, Feedback Sounds, and a couple more. This way the developer is meant to help not only people who have moving difficulties, but also eyesight problems. After that, this toolbar will appear on the screen. It can be moved around the canvas, and it will let you control some actions with a single touch. For example, you can move the canvas, zoom it, and rotate. Also, it has undo and redo. Then you can fit the canvas. Let me go back to the brush and see some other features. In the drawing pad you can easily switch to 3D preview to see how the brush will behave on a 3D object. One more section that appeared in the settings is materials. It'll show a 3D sphere in the drawing pad by default, and it has two more settings inside. First one is metallic, in which you can increase or decrease metallic properties of a brush and change its source. By the way, there are some new textures in the grain source, which can be used to create your own brushes. They can be found here. Same goes for roughness. Here you can change the amount, scale, and change the source. Another feature that I find helpful is the opportunity to pin the amount of brush size or opacity. You set the required size, then tap on the plus icon, and it will be pinned to the size panel. This way you can pin up to 4 sizes and switch between them easily. To delete it, just tap on the minus sign. There is also a slight change in the adjustment section. Now you can't choose between layer or pencil, as it is set to layer option by default. But you can change it to pencil inside the filter. The last feature I wanted to show from 2D updates is called Page Assist. It has this menu with frames that look similar to Animation Assist, but it works differently. You can switch between the layers or between these frames to open a single page. If you group the layers, they will appear as a page or a frame here. You can create a new page from this menu or in the layers. If you save these layers as a PDF document, it will save your pages on Procreate as PDF pages. You can then view the PDF file. There are many small features I skipped in order to keep this review short. I will show them in future videos. New 3D features are quite fun. Having more layers and bigger canvases will make Procreate even more powerful. And new accessibility features will help many artists create better art. Please share your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you soon!